Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a very close PU game for you against FrozenLink. And on my end, well, I know you can see the Phione over there, and when you see Phione, you see rain. Well, there is banded Phione, but that's not even very good by PU standards. And Phione, that's all it can really do is set up the rain. I've also got Specs Raichu, Swift Swim Relicanth, Offensive Pelipper, and then the Bronzanium core. Because you know I love my little name fusion thing, and Bronzanium, I was really pleased with that name. It sounds like some kind of super rare element. But both of those walls, they benefit from the rain because it nullifies their fire weaknesses. On my opponent's end, there's nothing really too threatening because I don't think anything can live a hit from Relicanth under the rain, or outspeed it, so let's get into it. Now, I expected my opponent to leave a Masquerain for the Focus Sash, Quiver Dancing shenanigans, like they do, and Raichu's a good lead because barring any not very obvious choice scarfers, which his team doesn't have, then Specs Raichu will outspeed his entire team, but he leads with Dugong, and the Volt Switch is very obvious, and I was aware that he could switch in Sandshrew here, but he very nicely protects, figuring that because I led with Raichu, I'm likely choiced. But now that he knows I'm locked on Grass Knot, I did expect him to switch to Heatmore here because even a Specs Grass Knot would still do nothing to it. But he stays in, perhaps figuring that because he was a fully specially defensive Dugong, that he could live the Grass Knot, which is true, but it would still have been an easy 2-hit KO, and that's even if he's max HP, max special defense. But he Toxics Manaphy, and that's not a problem because the Manaphy is rest hydration shenanigans that Manaphy's love to do. So I Toxic just trying to get the Dugong, but he switches into the Behemoth, and that Toxic will be very nice in wearing this powerhouse down because 125 special attack plus an analytic boost is nothing to be underestimated. Now Trick Room Behemoth is a threat, but it always seems contradictory to me to run Trick Room and analytic. Maybe he was synchronized, I don't know. But specially defensive Bronzor does a very good job at walling it because it quad resists its stab. Now here we actually predict each other to switch out. I go for Hypnosis because Behemoth isn't really doing that much to Bronzor, and Toxic is racking up fast, and he goes to Psychic predicting the Raichu switch because of the Lightning Rod. So knowing it will now likely be a double down, I would just go for that little bit of team support that Bronzor's on the team for, because everything on my team can benefit from those 4 remaining turns of rain. Now I go to Relicanth in the double down. It was kind of a bad play because I actually forgot about Trick Room, so Relicanth is outslowed by everything on his team. Fortunately, he wasn't likely to switch to Heatmore whilst rain is up, which could one-shot me with a Giga Drain. Now I go for Waterfall, and how on earth does Sandshrew live that? That is an adamant, max attack, life orb, stab, rain boosted, super effective Waterfall. Nothing can live that, it's just not possible. I mean, how does Sandshrew live that? It's just, has this game gone mad, or am I just overhyping Relicanth, or I just can't get my head around it. But in comes Dugong. Sandshrew wasn't living a second one, no way. And the Protect is very obvious, but this is just a very unnecessary prediction. And this is an example of where you don't need to predict, you should just head smash everything, because all that sub did was just lose me HP. So we now have our second double down of the game. Fortunately, I still have Raichu, and now that Sandshrew's gone, I can safely just Volt Switch on anything. So I have to Volt Switch. I can't risk missing Thunder, even though it will likely only knock him down to his Focus Sash. The Volt Switch just one-shots this Masquerain. I'm not sure what item he was carrying, maybe it was more of an offensive variant. So of the 3 Pokemon left to Volt Switch to, I figured Pelipper would be the best, just because it has a better matchup against Arbok and Heatmore than Phione and Meganium do. So I smack Arbok with a Surf. It does a decent amount, actually less than I was expecting it to do, but as he just goes for the Coil, and I don't see Black Sludge, and he doesn't have Shed Skin, so he's not going to have any form of recovery, which is excellent news because after a few Coils, Arbok can be a real problem to deal with. And I was kind of expecting Pelipper to live that Gunk Shot just with having 100 base defense, but I guess after +1 and Stab and Life Orb it's not going to be living any hits. So I am forced to go to Raichu because I'm pretty sure Meganium and Phione will go down to 1 Gunk Shot each. Thankfully though, due to Sucker Punch being unstabbed, it means that Raichu will just survive that hit, and then can just revenge kill it with the Volt Switch. And he's down to Heatmore, which is the last Pokemon, and I honestly thought Scald would just kill from that range, but I guess Heatmore has some decent natural bulk to it. And this now isn't looking good, because Life Orb Heatmores tend to carry Sucker Punch to make up for their low speed. And although Meganium is defensive, I was pretty sure that Fire Blast wouldn't KO, just because Meganium's so damn bulky. I mean, it's got such high HP and defenses. And surprisingly, I actually outspeed. I mean, I know Heatmore is slow, but slower than Meganium? Seriously? A giant flower dinosaur? And unfortunately, this is it. If he has Sucker Punch now, he can draw. If not, then I can win. So does he have the Sucker Punch? That is the big question. And he does have Sucker Punch, so that will be the game. Although it is counted a loss, by my reckoning that is a draw, and it doesn't get any closer than that. So that was a really enjoyable game. Thank you very much, FrozenLink, and I hope you all enjoyed that. And Sandshrew, why did you live that hit? And with that being said, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.